Well, over 40 years ago, Dave, you created the original fish trap that we've got behind us here. Did you think it was going to evolve into what we've got behind that?
Well, yes, Jason, I certainly hoped it was going to do that. I just didn't think it was going to take so long.
Well, I tell you what, looking at this first model, I mean, they have changed a ton. The technology's changed a ton. Tell us about what that was like creating this.
Well, the hardest part, Jason, was to get my wife to start sewing these things. She really wasn't into that on her home sewing machine, but she sewed the first 100 fish houses on the home sewing machine, so she put a lot of effort into it.
Well, Dave, the contributions that you have made to ice fishing, you and Patsy, in all of your dedication and innovation, I mean, this is the footprint of the fish trap that we see today. And you know, let's go take a look at some of these new models. Let's take a look at how that technology has influenced the fish trap over the years. Let's take a look inside this relic.
Yeah. Look at this beauty here.
You put a lot of time and effort and thought into the original fish trap.
Yeah, the joints were all dadoed and glued together, so they held up well when we were pulling behind the snowmobiles, ATVs, or by hand.
And now did the original have that chair?
Well, no, it just had a piece of wood across the front of it, and then storage underneath for our rods. You know, so it's amazing how the original concept is carried on in today. Except now the extra tall, we always managed to hit our rods on the ceiling of the fish house in these original ones. So over time we learned we needed more headroom, and that's what Clam came up with this year, is the extra tall house.
Not to mention, I mean, just on a lot of shelters nowadays, you see the insulated coverings on them. You know, compared to this one on the original, I think you probably retain a little more heat on the new models.
Oh, for sure. The insulated ones are, you know, in some cases almost too warm on a day that, you know, you get too much heat in there. You know, because we're dressed to be outside, so you don't need a lot of heat.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look at some of the advancement that we've made in the shelters over the years.
All right, let's do that.
Yes, do it. You know, the first thing you notice with this new XT design, you know, the XT you would think is extra tough because of the durability of these shelters, but really it's extra tough. You know, Dave, you just walked right in there.
Just walked right in there, no problem whatsoever.
And look at all that space you've got.
And it's really simple to collapse. And we're out just like the original model. And now we had all that extra room. Better lifting it back up again. And we're in with plenty of headroom.
That was super simple. This is really a quick shelter to flip down, and the run and gun design, man, you can really chase the fish.
And that's really important with ice fishing, you know, when we using our electronics now, you know, if they're not down there, you can't catch them. You got to keep going and looking until you find them, and that's when the fun begins.
Now, the only thing, Dave, this is a great one-person shelter, but what if I'm coming along? I need some space for me, too. I want to fish as well. Let's take a look at some of the two-person shelters.
Okay, let's do that.
You know, with that XT design in our two-person shelters, we no longer have the front door. We've gone to side doors on this, and that makes it really easy to get in and out of the shelter without walking over your holes, walking over your gear. And it's something that the consumers asked for a long time. But with that XT design again, boy, we've got a lot of space in one of these smaller two-person shelters.
Going in.
Oh yeah, this is much better.
Look at that nice, easy door to get out of. Just send it around, and it Velcro's right to the front there, so it doesn't flap in the breeze. And you can walk right through the house. And I mean, just a great two-person house, especially if you're taking your young son out with you. His first time ice fishing, you know, he can get in and out easily, and you know, we always put more fish on the ice when we're mobile. So I'll come back around here and just get back in here and see how easy that is.
You know, Dave, we were talking about the original fish trap and how the new insulated coverings are so much warmer. And just you and I being in here without a heater, I could feel it starting to warm up. And you said sometimes it gets a little bit too warm. Well, with these dual side doors, if we've got a really nice day, why wouldn't you just open them up? Using that back as a wind block, but still getting that fresh air, getting that sunshine. It's so simple.
Yes. You know, that's been the whole thing about the fish trap design over the years is, you know, no setup time. You know, it's quick and it's easy, and if it's easy, you'll do it. If it's not easy, you won't.
You know, that's one thing too I love about this. You were showing those pole slides. It's so easy, even with gloves on, to extend and retract these poles. And with these side doors now, you don't have to add any additional pole. Everything's built in that you can just retract and extend even while you're wearing your mitts.
Yeah, just, you know, what can we say? It's the best thing out there.
Now I know some people like to fish tip-ups as they're angling in the house. And I noticed on this Nanook, you've got windows all the way around the house. Every side you can look through. You can put a tip up anywhere and see that flag pop up.
Yes. You know, especially in some of the other states. You know, I just came back from Montana where you could have 5 tip-ups a man. And, I mean, if we did that in Minnesota, we'd be running all the time.
I don't think I'm in good enough shape for that. Now, Dave, going from the Nanook into the Voyager, you know, now we've got some more elbow room in here.
Oh, yeah, lots of room in here.
This is a ton of space in these chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Chairs.
And we can move these side to side too, or take them out if we wanted to. Oh, hey, light bar.
Light bar. Hop over the head there so we can see.
And because this is the Ice Team edition, it comes with that light bar already and the battery
And the battery bracket. I see we have a battery. We could even turn this light on if we wanted to right now.
And the travel cover's included as well.
Oh, and that's an important feature if you're going to tow it.
Absolutely. So everything, every accessory really that you need for the house already comes with it. This is fantastic. You know, one of the other things going up to this Voyager, you've got heavy duty poles in here, 1.25 inch poles. Yeah. This house is made for taking some abuse.
You know, when you're out towing it behind your ATV or your snowmobile, you know, you tend to go faster than we probably should. You know, but this will stand any abuse that we can give it.
Absolutely. The other thing I noticed, the tub here is one of our co-extruded tubs, so it's got a light gray interior. How many times have you dropped something in the fish house and then, you know, finding it becomes a challenge?
Yes, often. Yeah, so with the light bar on, you see it's a great house, you know, especially if you're going to fish at night. Or it doesn't have to be night necessarily, because we tend to fish in the evening, you know, and as it starts getting dark, all of a sudden you can't see anymore. Now you just plug in the lights and it's daytime again.
Exactly. And now the covering that we've got on this too, this heavy duty fabric, 900 denier fabric, 90 grams of insulation per meter. You know, those are some numbers that not the average angler is going to understand, but ultimately it's warm.
It's warm. And it helps with the condensation. When we put a heater in these, the single layered houses, they condensated on the inside, they start dripping on you. And this has eliminated that problem.
Not to mention retains that heat so you don't have to burn as much propane. I'm thinking that original model that you had used a little bit of propane.
Oh yes, it certainly did. You know, well, actually it went back to, we used a lantern back in them days to heat it. We didn't have all of our modern stoves that we have now.
It's crazy how far the houses and the technology with them has come.
Well, this is quite a house here. You know, we could have caught some fish in there, I'm sure, with a few holes drilled.
But if we're going to big water and we're doing a ton of fishing, we need something that's incredibly durable, heavy duty, you know, that 200 XT. There's a ton of room in this. There's a lot of room in the Voyager in this 200 XT. Wow, we've got a lot of flexibility.
Well, you could camp in that if you needed to. You could get naps in there anyway. I'm pretty good at that in the wintertime.
I'm a Viking at naps. But even drilling more holes and having multiple lines in there, you know, being able to jig with one rod and having a dead stick in another rod.
And plenty of room for your cooler, and it's just an all-around larger house. We say the big water, the Great Lakes. You know, if you're out there, you're going to spend the whole day out there fishing. You know, it's nice to have a big house and lots of room.
It's definitely made for extreme environments.
You know, with the heavy-duty poles. You know, it's just an all-around durable house.
And that's the Clam X series, and all of those houses have those 1.25 inch poles. They've got the heavy duty sleds that are co-extruded again with the light interior. They have the 900 denier fabric on it, so it's going to hold up over time. These are well constructed houses.
Yes, they are. They're I couldn't even imagine it when we started building them houses years ago that they would turn into something like this.
Now, Dave, we've talked about 4 different models of fish traps. You know, originally you had 1. We've looked at 4, but these aren't all of the models that Clam makes.
Oh, there's many more choices to fit every situation that you're in. You know, if you're towing, or if you're walking, or camping, or being mobile, we've got something for everyone.
Single person, 2 people, multiple people. There are a lot of different options to look at.
So be sure to check out the Clam line in your sporting goods store when you're looking for a new shelter.
Or you can find all the models at clamoutdoors.com.